myself, but I don't wanna let you know. Is this what we become? Strangers on the run, looking for something, chasing the sun. All those days trying to find a place where you'll make them just be alone, be alone. All those nights lying by your side, like it's a vibe, feeling it shine under your spotlight. Like it's a vibe under your spotlight. That's the way every day goes. Looking back, I know we started falling. We were falling in love, yeah. Took my heart and you rode off. Was a feeling never enough for you, baby? When you left me chasing you, chasing you. Trying to find a place where we can be alone. All those nights lying by your side, like it's a vibe, feeling it shine under your spotlight. A place where you'll make them just be alone. Like it's a vibe under your spotlight.
Test. Yes. All right, let's fire this up.
Right here, feeling like it's out gear.
So,
Driving
for those
sun,
who have not seen this list before,
gun, feel the wind in
it's real fun. We're playing basically a 10 fins list. Main board, main engine. We're running 6 reanimate spells, 5 counters. There's a little loose on the counter spells. 3 discard, 4 entomb, 1 LED with the shallow grave, which is a nice interaction. Careful study is an extra bin spell. And what we're basically playing is like a 10 pins that goes into Children of Corliss, Tendrils, or draws into another Entomb, Ritual, Petal, and it swings with Emrakul, Hasty as well. The objective is like the turn 1, turn 2, really quickly. Post board, we have kind of a perfect 15-15 swap. Now I've made some changes here where it's not perfect anymore, but basically these are our 15 that we pull out. That's our reanimation package. And basically, this is what always comes in if you're moving into this the Doomsday package. Granted, sometimes Fluster Storm's not where you want to be. And then Abrupt Decay or utility slots. Cavernous Souls obviously comes in against any blue deck. You can leave in a Shallow Grave. If you're going to keep Predict, you can use that to get around Meddling Mage, just play that kind of like as a really expensive Unearth. But for the most part, it's a straight swap into Doomsday, where we don't depend on our graveyard anymore. Abrupt Decay is for Chalice decks, because that's really this deck's weakest spot, in my opinion. And yeah, it's real fun. We even managed to jam Shelldock Isle Emrakul in here, so we have a second win con with when we Doomsday. So I build a lot of Shelldock piles because they're real fun. And yeah, it's been pretty sweet. I don't think this is like going to be the new meta breaker deck, but it's a hell of a lot of fun. The other thing that I've noticed is because Doomsday eats up half your life, and it's a 3-mana spell, and you can split up the reanimation package. I've actually found my reanimation game plan works better against Rug, which is really nice. So when I'm going up against Rug, I actually just bring in extra permission and sometimes the abrupt decays, and then just shave on like thought seizes, which hit our life total, with the idea of our game plan is already pretty strong against Rug Delver, and the Doomsday game plan is a little bit worse actually, and that's been pretty sweet. So we'll see how it does. So let's move into the league. We're already up 1-0. This was a depths deck. Game 1 we just kind of went ham, like turn 2 I think. Game 2 they kept a double surgical hand, and we built a pile that just didn't care about surgical. I don't know this guy, but I recognize his name, so we'll see what we end up with. It's a lot of draw and discard, but it's not fast action. I've been punished by keeping these hands more often than not, but it is a little bit of permission. I'm going to keep this against my Butter Judgment, and I'm going to go off an island. So this hand is a little sketch as far as I'm concerned. His last placement was with a lands list, running Elvish Reclaimer. But that's no guarantee that's what he's going to be on. Although it does seem like he plays non-blue decks, generally speaking. So we'll see what we end up. This hand could punish us. So I totally don't have Stream Decker set up, by the way, so if anybody needs a deck list, just hit me in chat and I'll flash it back up. It's real jank, but real fun. I don't know what this guy's doing. I don't know if he's Googling me and looking up what I've done in the past, or just like got real busy real fast, or his meta just crashed. Cool. I don't think I can pass up the pedal. Especially if our mana could be taxed as a lands style deck. He tends to play lands or Maverick in the list that I can find. Yeah. Chalice? That's fine. So we got the Maze of Ith and Windswept Heath. That's pretty good. So I'm gonna put back Careful Study and Tendrils. Ponder here. I don't actually mind the Polluted Delta. Let's see here. But that doesn't get us closer to a reanimation spell. But he's gonna wasteland us most likely, so yeah, we're gonna keep that. So this is a really slow start that I'm not liking. But I'm hoping he taps out here. Nah, dog. That's fine.
So I said, no, 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 it was supposed to be my pentakill. Why did you do that to me? I killed, I know, 1, 2, 3 for champions. I can't believe you're trying. No, it was supposed to be my pentakill.
So I don't think I care that much about Force of Will here.
I killed, I know, 1, 2, 3 for champions. I can't believe you're trying.
Although I didn't realize I hadn't made my land drop, I take that back. And now it looks like a real bad brainstorm. It's fine.
So I said, no, 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 it was supposed to be my pentakill. Why did you do that to me? I killed, I know, 1, 2, 3 for champions. I can't believe you're trying. No, it was supposed to be my pentakill. Why did you do that to me? I killed,
Stage
I know, 1, 2, 3
copying.
for champions. I can't believe
Sure.
you're trying.
So what we're looking at is a pretty bad start. And what we're going to want to do is really sell the Reanimator plan here. Caracas, Wasteland, Maze, that's fine. And I'm pretty sure he knows what we're on at this point. So he's got 2 lands in hand, 2 unknowns. But no real pressure at this stage.
It's time to quit while we're ahead. Don't think like that. I will love you endlessly.
And we're going to wait until we're forced to act.
Don't you feel like that? I will love you forever. If you don't believe in me, yeah.
Or we have a second blue card in hand for force. That'll work. So we're just gonna let that slide. That looks good to me. That's 6 permanents. Got there. So, this is a matchup where we definitely move out of the graveyard plan because he's gonna. What is lands running these days? Let's see here. They do run ley lines, right? No, not anymore. 2 surgicals, a pyroblast. I'm surprised. That seems ridiculous to me. Alright, whatever. I still think I'm going to move out of that plan. Try to catch him off expectation. And we just actually just bring the whole 15 in. I don't mind having the Cavernous Souls for Pyroblast. I don't mind Abrupt Decay for any Thorn effects. I mean, everything here is solid. And we just get off the rest of the plan. Thanks for watching, whoever you guys are. So let's see here. Let's look at some other lands lists. I feel like they normally. I used to play lands in Leyline was kind of a thing. Let's see here. Gamble is kind of an easy way to identify lands. So just Sphere, Choke. Choke. Wow. Nobody's running Sphere. Whoa. I Mind Break Trap, okay. Well, I take back everything that I thought I knew. I was wrong. This has mana and Thoughtseize. Mana and Thoughtseize is not a bad, but it's all dual mana? Does it get, let's see what he does. I think we mull this. That's what I'm talking about. A little sketch on the mana. I really want to find something here, but hopefully daze any Sphere effect he throws down. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe it's coming right now. Sweet. Never mind. Take it all back. Chat, anyone want to share opinions right now? I am disinclined. I am disinclined, although we can go right into... We can draw right into our next card, which is pretty solid. Yeah, I think we jam in here. We can put a Force on top and we'll have Force days up. Oh man, see, I disagree with you because we have the Street Wraith we can cycle into We can cycle into force on top. Preordain next turn if necessary, if we want, into island. Like basically we can put 2 islands in there so we're safe to Ghost Quarter. Hold up force and daze for any sort of major stuff with also keeping in 2 lands. Possibly even 3, so if he tries to go, well, Sphere will force. And he can't Pyroblast any of our turn 1 plays here. Which is kind of what he's representing, I think. I'm inclined to jam here. We didn't come here not to jam, right? I mean, Daze protects this land too. So we got to worry about ports. Yeah, we got to worry. The main things we got to worry about are Wasteland, Ghost Quarter, and Port. So my inclination here is obviously we need Oracle. We need our 1 basic island, which I unfortunately cut down to 1 just to fit in the trop. I think we put in a Misty, a trop, and the Force. I don't love it, but we can protect this land too. And we don't have to cycle right now. Oh, but we want a cavern in this, so this needs to be... We definitely need a cavern for Pyroblast. So we go Force, Misty, Cavern, Oracle, Island. We got the Preordained to draw if we don't pitch it to Force, yeah. Shoo. Yeah, there's a fetch land in here in case we need to thin. It plays around Port nicely. The idea being that if he represents or brings down Port, we can throw the fetch land and then fetch in response to it and have mana that turn. This line may not pan out, but it's aggressive enough that I'm hoping it does. We have enough answers to pretty much anything he does. I'm actually tempted to daze this just to protect our land. Like, I don't actually care about the 2 damage here. So what is he gambling for here? What's the likely gamble? Either a sphere effect. I don't really care about any lands. We've played around Port, I think, completely. I think we let this go. Hopefully that's what he gamed before. That wouldn't make any real sense. So we do lose the port here. I cracked that too aggressively. I kind of botched myself there. Okay, so we're good. So yeah, playing that preordained was actually really, really dumb. That's fine, my man. Cool. 2-0. So now our worst case scenario is we get half our money back, no matter how badly it goes. Goblins. That's not a bad one to have. I accept that. That's a turn 1 with force back. This deck is stupid. This thing is so stupid. The only thing I'm debating is whether or not I double Dark Writ so I have extra mana floating, and I think the answer is yes. I do want the mana floating. I mean, we can whiff. It is entirely possible to whiff. I have done it many times. But most likely we won't. Okay, we didn't have to worry about it. Whew. All right, so let's look. All right, he's being a good sport. All right, let's see what he plays in the side. I think Goblins plays Chalice and Ley Lines. No, Surgicals. Graph Diggers, Rebs. All right, so yeah, we sideboard into the plan. There's no reason to fuck around with letting him have interaction on our graveyard here. There's just none. I do think that being fast against them is really important, but I do think at the same time giving them easy interaction is not where we want to be, because he's running 2 Relic, 2 Surgical, 2 Chalice, which in a Pithing Needle, like I've seen them bring in in Mind Break. Yeah, just like so many things that are relevant. Maybe game 3, depending on what we see, we can side back into the plan, original game plan. I tend not to do that against Goblins, but we'll see. This hand doesn't probably get there. We spend, like, if he doesn't have a Cavern hand, we have a lot of interaction. Let's see what he does. If he goes to 6, I might keep this. Hey, thanks, dude. I appreciate that. Have you seen the list? Or are you off the Discord, or are you just like popping around? He's on 6, so we're gonna keep this. He's on 5, so he's looking for graveyard hate. And that, oh, he's on 4 now. That's what this list is designed to do. That's what we doing. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah. Yeah, so like this is exactly where we're at. Like he's on 4 cards now, looking for the wrong type of hate. Look at this. He's on a 2-lander now, or 2 cards. This is obscene. Oh my god. So we'll just go Island Ponder. Yeah, so we'll keep these 2 and we'll shuffle away. And we'll shuffle away the Emrakul. That sucks. I don't want any of this. We'll cycle here. So this is what my worry about this hand is we don't have any action. And he do. There we go. Now we do... Oh, we can just hope he doesn't do anything next turn and just win. We have 4 forces. Or 4 force style effects. So we get a predict line in play. Predict through LED with force backup. Yeah, that's fine. Like, I guess if he hits a Muxus off of this. So we need... Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's confused too. So we will predict a preordain, draw a street wraith, so he's gonna wasteland us. That's not gonna matter. Our land drop will be a cavern. So we'll predict, preordain, draw cavern, and street wraith. Yeah, that'll look good. I just hope he doesn't have anything to put in here. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, we've lost. That port I did not play around. I don't think I could have either. So I've thought about dropping those, but those are situations. I've thought about dropping one of them many times. There are situations though where I just really want the extra card off of Ideas Unbound, and like that one I get pinched on mana and need Predict. Predict is also really clutch in this particular list, where some post-board situations you actually will keep like a single shallow grave because slots are wrong, and you can use that to get around like meddling mages and stuff. So it's an expensive line, but you can actually predict Thassa's Oracle, draw into shallow grave. So I'm hesitant to cut the predict. I mean, we can't ship it. It's not good though. But yeah, like I have too many reservations about cutting predict specifically. I don't know. It could be correct. I mean, this is still a very beta-esque list. So I don't want to say it's wrong. Well, that'll work. So I don't mind having edge here. I think decay goes. Figured that might be coming. All right, so cavern. So we want to put force on top. I just want to put in more lands than he can realistically port me through. So we want to put a force on top. So what we'll do is we'll put... Actually, I don't know if I want to put force on top. So if we put these two on the bottom, we draw into Misty now, cycle into Cavern, fetch. It gives us the option that if he does anything on his turn around removal, and we can also just preordain. Yeah, we just keep this. We don't need anything complicated. Yeah, I know we have the LED kill, but I still don't want to, because he could have Pyroblast. Pyroblast wouldn't have won on that stack, because Pyroblast wouldn't have dealt with Fluster, and it also doesn't deal with Doomsday. So I'm not going to play into Pyroblast on the Ideas Unbound, losing us the game right now. So basically, I'm just got, like, he has no real clock right now. I have no reason to really aggressively go here, basically. And the idea being that I want to... I just have no rush. If he wastelands, I edge in response. If he taps low, I preordain. I can... Yeah, this is fine. Like, we're not trying to kill next turn. We didn't have any intention of that. And actually, what did we put on top? We got Cavern there. So we just go ahead and preordain here. So we'll go to 3, we can fetch down to, we'll draw to 2, we can fetch down to 1 and then cycle into 0. Play through Cavern. There's not much he can do here. Like, the LED kill, yeah, I agree with you though. It's just not where I wanted to be. We're basically, like, the one thing we lose to here is Pyroblast. So now port doesn't do anything. That's fine. Well, I feel bad we took away his 5-0. right. So we are 3-0. Keep going. Let's see where we end up. I know these two are pretty big grinders. I don't know this guy. Actually, you know what, guys? I'm going to use the bathroom really quick. I will be right back. Right. Let's do it. I think we're decidedly in the Delver bracket now, though. If only we had a land, man. This seemed to be fine. Yeah, that hand's fine. It was a little bit slow, but... Yo, nope, bye-bye. Please, no thought. Please, please. Well, we'll put this on top in case he finds a Thalia. Oh man, give me all the lands in the world. No Thalia. Or just port me. That's fine too. Don't do that. I wish I could force land. Or force of will. A land. Hey! Thank you, deck. So we're gonna go Entomb, Misty Days. No, so we have Force and we can protect this land depending on what he plays. This could come together. I found Death and Taxes actually one of the hardest game ones. That's fine. Because this deck, like, they have all the tools to beat our game plan. But I think we're gonna get there. I mean, I guess we just lost our land, so we gotta rip a land here. That was silly of me. So everything that he's gonna be able to do with our graveyard though will require, and we have instant speed black. I think we'll be okay. Yeah, I think we're in good shape here. I think he's gonna think he can keep us off black, because, yeah. That kind of sucks a little bit. All right. My lord. He's gonna let us draw twice? That's pretty cool. So I do think we need to we have no reanimate effects, but we do have a land drop in several. All right, so we're just gonna pass here. That's really good. That's really good too. Oh yeah, he's just dead. That's cool. Seven, 8, 9. Yeah. So we have 4, we have 1, that'll be 9. Let's see here. Yeah, I knew I was in upkeep. Sorry, I'm like real focused on trying to figure out how to make this. I think I'm gonna force the action on the Crocus here. case he wants to plow here. So that'll take us to the storm count 9. Because we can force it. We basically want to force the action on the Caracas. So then he can't double plow to gain 1 life. Because if he bounces this, then we can force his other, if he has a plow in response to our tendrils. Otherwise, he could technically survive a tendrils at 1. I'm surprised he's let this Grizzleround stick around for more than 1 draw. That makes no sense to me. I think it's a misplay. I don't think he's played this deck very much. You have to bounce in response to that first draw. There we go. That's fine. So let me just go black. Dead you. And if you have a swords, we force it and the game is over and we move on to game 2. Deck stupid. Deck is stupid. Okay, so Death and Taxes. Our Reanimator plan is actually very, very bad against. And the fact that I made this change where I cut the second basic island feels extra double super mega bad. That said, our Doomsday plan is quite favorable against. That said, Flusterstorm's not great here. There's not a lot we want to do with that. So this is one of those spots where I actually will keep in a singleton Shallow Grave instead of a Flusterstorm because it allows for a line if he's like... Really, it's not going to come up in this matchup. But the Flusterstorm's not going to do... Like, there's no instant or sorcery, I guess, Cataclysm. And if it gets to that point, we have totally failed to perform anyways. There's always a chance we Thought Seize and Ever pull out of our hand and like get it on the board. It's real fringe though. Super duper mega ultra fringe. But I think the first Shallow Grave is better than the second or first Flusterstorm. I think. The only argument for that is that it's a blue card that we can pitch. And our blue count is low. Let's see here. Post board, our blue count goes to 21. So there might be an argument to go, but we don't really force that much against them anyway. I'm just gonna keep Shallow Grave. Thanks for letting me ramble, guys. And please mull to rest in peace aggressively. That is a fucking Ace's hand. We keep the hell out of this. I imagine turn 1 Deafening Silence is what's coming. No, but we'll force that too. You know, there is a fringe argument to keeping in children at that point. But I think it's just not where we want to be. But I'm intrigued now. Because that would be cool. Both of these are very good. Yeah, like there's turns where you take like 3 off of Delver and 7 off of Arcanist, and you're just like, children. I think we can do better things than just gain 10, but... Alright, so I'm wondering what he's actually got going on here. I think we're just gonna Thought Seize him next turn. See what's up. Yeah, we'll take that. So he doesn't have much action. And we're going to get a turn with 3 mana, so that's cool. Oh no, he's not going to play out. He's just not going to put a clock on. That's fine too. Okay. So we'll ponder first. So I don't mind the ponder that digs 1 deeper here. We're gonna go off the trop to protect our black source. Like really all they're doing is constraining our mana a little bit. And we'll shuffle this. So I like what he's doing here. He's I guess I could have kept the Thoughtseize for whatever he gets off the Mystic. But he's gonna play out Stoneforge here. Yeah. Get an equip. The Mana Denial is actually pretty good here because we haven't been able to find a ritual. If we find a ritual, this all goes to a different place very quickly. Alright, so we'll just do that. Okay. So he can't realistically waste and port us off of blue next turn. So we'll just take a predict line. So unorthodox, we are 3-0 right now. We're up a game in match 4. In game 2, we've sideboarded into Doomsday against Death and Taxes. Yeah. We have a land in hand here, so I think I'm just going to do Predict, Preordain, Edge, Wraith, Oracle. We don't need to get complicated here. Predict, Preordain, Street Wraith, Edge, Oracle. We really don't need to make this complicated because he's not, like, the best case scenario he's going to be able to do is swing for... He got a Batter Skull too, so he can't even, like, he can't even equip. Yeah, there's nothing happening here. I don't think there's much he can do here. So he's got a Stoneforge, a Batter Skull, and 2 unknowns in hand. Let me tell you, man, this list is... I don't think it's optimal, but it's not... Like, it's so proactive that it can't be bad. Does that make sense? Like, I don't think this is, like, ever going to be the best list. But it's just never going to be a terrible build. Okay, so he has literal nothing. This is just, we're going to go 4-0 here. Yeah, so if you don't care about optimal and you just want to have like the funnest time of all the times, you're going to play this list. Choose wizard, go blue, blue, and this game is over. We are 4-0. That's pretty cool. All right. All right, guys, I need all of your luck for this. I'm telling you though, like this would have been posted in the Pipe Dream channel. Like this list is just not a bad list. It's not. It just does busted things. It just does busted things on 2 different axes. No. And you can see our competition hasn't been bad. Like we played Goblin Lackey 1. This guy plays lands very competently, although we have gotten a couple like favorable matchups, so that means we're definitely going to queue into Rug Delver with 100% certainty, and it's going to happen. So I need everyone to get on the hype train. Yeah, I don't know if this needs a like. I've been struggling. I feel like this does need a name, because it's like, I mean, it is just Tin Fins and Doomsday stapled together really poorly. It's like Frankenstein, because like if you look at the list, yeah, Spanish Doomsday. It's just very suboptimal. It's very suboptimal Tin Fins, which is pretty good on game 1 at least, and suboptimal Doomsday, which is pretty good when you have people sideboarding poorly against you. So like, I don't know. Choo choo? Is that a train? Are we tooting like a train, or are we? Is that something else? Game 3s I almost never get to, as you can see from this right here. Like we're 2-0, 2-0, 2-1, 2-0. Game 3s are kind of like the most galaxy brain thing ever. You kind of have to do this like mental sidestep of like, okay, you just demonstrated that you're on a totally different game plan. You have to think about how much your opponent saw of that. Did you Doomsday? Did they see your full exile pile? Did they realize you're not on a graveyard plan anymore? Or did you just kind of whiff? So it's all dependent. The game 3s are very variable. So a lot of the times, like game 2, I just won't find a Doomsday and it'll just look like I'm on the same deck and I just didn't hit. In which case I will stay on the Doomsday plan and game 3 is generally pretty solid. Other times I'll like die after a Doomsday resolves and they know what's up, and I'll side back into Tin Fins, maybe with a little more permission like I do in the Delver matchup, and that seems to hold up pretty well. I would say game 3s are probably my worst win rate out of anything, but they're still pretty reasonable. It's because we're doing something that's like, what's up, man? Yeah, we're in this. As you can see, we are going for it. We need everyone's hype energy. We gotta get there. I'm very hopeful, like, which means that, like I said, we're gonna queue into Rug Delver with 100% certainty. It's gonna be someone like Theo Jung or like Jarvis Yu or something like that, and we're just gonna get like fucking crushed, and it's not even gonna be a game. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, yeah, I mean, we saw that with Goblins a couple matches ago, where they diluted their own game plan so heavily that they just did nothing. They had a Mindbreak trap, which got Flusterstormed, which they were a little confused that I kept that in, but if you look at our board plan, it makes sense. But that's all they had. They had a Mindbreak trap that they kept, and they kept just a do-nothing hand otherwise, and they just lost based on that alone. And that's exactly what we're trying to put people. We're trying to pinch people on exactly that axis. game 2 against goblins, he actually mulled to, I think, 4 for a Graph Digger's Cage, and he managed to win because we couldn't find a reanimate spell. And he got a Goblin Lackey, or no, because we were on Doomsday. We couldn't find a Doomsday quick enough, and he connected with Goblin Lackey before we were able to win, which was like mind-blowing, but sometimes you just don't find a Doomsday. Let's do this. I do not know this name. So this guy has no published lists. Unorthodox, I'll show you the board plan right after this. Yeah, this hand is pretty solid. It's not perfect, but it could become pretty perfect pretty quickly. With literally any reanimate spell, we can Thought Seize and go turn 1. We got 6 of those in the deck, and he's on 5 now, so he's probably on combo himself. So that Thought Seize is going to look pretty solid. But Unorthodox, let's quickly bump over. So these are the 15 I normally take out, and then I bring in some combination of these 15. I do keep Emrakul in because I have the Shelldock Isle, which makes some of Doomsday piles actually very relevant. So what happens is I'm playing the Shelldock plan because it synergizes with a card that's already in the deck. It's not, obviously it's not the best thing we can be doing in Doomsday, but it's reasonable to be doing considering I already have an Emrakul slot in the deck and it's not that bad. And then I have to make flexes based on what I'm playing. And so sometimes Flusterstorm doesn't make the cut, and I'll like keep in a Shallow Grave. So I'll keep in like a Shallow Grave if I'm going to do like a predict line with, I know it's not mana efficient, but sometimes it gets around like Meddling Mage or stuff like that. So there's a little bit of fluctuation on the boarding plan, but generally it's these 15 out and these 15 in with a little bit of play. All right. So he's on 5. We're going to see what happens here. I feel like he's probably on Reanimator or something like that, or just had a real bad start. Are we just gonna get a new hand here? I mean, a new hand's not the worst thing as long as he doesn't have a Narset out. I can deal with getting a new hand as long as we have lands. Okay, so he's looking for it. Like, that's what he's trying to do. He kept this on the strength of LED, Brainstorm, and the fact that he's got the wheel Echo in his deck. So hopefully he doesn't hit. He did not hit. He's possibly Brainstorm locked. Let's see where we end up. We need a Reanimate spell. I'm just going to Thought Seize here. Yeah, I mean, I know there's a chance that he's only got, like, he would have cast the Echo if he has it, so we're going to Thought Seize, see what we're up against. Okay, so he has literal no action. We're going to cast this in case we do need to Brainstorm here. So he's probably putting us on Storm right now. He saw Dark Ritual, so he definitely has us placed on Storm. Alright, so that Volk is gone. So he's on Jeskai colors here, which is very interesting for an LED Urza's Bauble deck. Does anybody know any Jeskai lists? I've seen some blue-white Bomberman lists, but nothing Jeskai. Unless it's just a blue-white splashing red for blasts. Alright, well, this doesn't do anything for us. Well, we'll go ahead and Brainstorm here, because I don't mind forcing this if we can. Alright. Yeah, I mean, Pyroblast is the only thing that makes sense in one of these lists. Alright, so we're still in a reasonable hand. So he is on a very atypical list. They don't generally run Chrome Mox either, which makes sense if he's running 3 colors. I will give him that. So we've got Jank List versus Jank List. I like it. Saheeli. We getting Chalice here? That would not be good. So he's seen Dark Ritual. I'm thinking about like our sideboarding plan if this does go south quickly, which it could here. We could just lose a Chalice. That's fine. So he's only seen stuff that puts us on Storm, which doesn't incline him to go super deep graveyard hate, in my opinion. But he would bring in Forces, which is fine. He did not shuffle. Another LED. Are we wheeling again? I really don't feel like wheeling again. We're wheeling again. Oh, Song of Creation Storm. Okay, I know this build. I've seen this before. Alright, now we got Force. And we got the combo next turn. So that was thank you, sir. So this is good for us. I'm good with this. That was actually a net upgrade for us. I accept. I mean, we basically just need him to not... Like, if he tries to wheel again, we can just force it and put him in a real bad spot. Okay, yeah, we good. And we're even gonna have mana floating. Cool. Yeah, that was quite the turn. I will give him that. Alright, we got this. Oh no, we don't even need to get the kids. We just entomb. Grab the big boy. And we just swing for lethal. Cool dudes. So we're up a game. We are 4-0 up a game against Song of Creation Storm, which I know nothing about. Yeah, I'm not here to BM. I'm just here to like. Well, I mean, this deck has BMs. Like the whole deck is built in that. All right, I gotta find some Song of Creation deck list. Figure out what the fuck is going on in that. Alright, so here's the list. What are we looking at? 3 surgicals. I do... Is he running any counter spells? No. So I'm inclined, I think we let him bring in his surgicals, dilute his plan, and we just go ahead and move over to our game plan here. I think that's worth it. It will get him in a position where he's... We'll probably bring in Void Snare as well. Does he run Karns? No, but we have to watch out for Narset. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'm okay with moving into Doomsday here. I don't love it. Is he running? Yeah, he's running 4 Burning Wishes. That only gets sorcery rate. Well, we're gonna go ahead and run this hand back. If we draw any cantrip, we win turn 1. He's on 5, so he's probably looking for a surgical. He's on 4. Cool, cool, cool. So our sideboard plan seems to be performing. And I think we still... I'm inclined to keep this still. He's going down to 4. Okay. He did that last game too, so I mean, it was interesting. Hey Romario, what's up, man? We are game 2 on heading towards the possible 5-0 against Song of Creation Storm. Oh no. What is happening here? He's going for it. All right, well, we got nothing here. Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, I put a lot of work into getting this mic looking good or sounding good. All right, well, we'll see what he hits. Well, now our hand is real bad. This went from a turn 1 potential to a poopy hand. Please, no more echoes, sir. Yeah, I can see that why they would mull a lot. I mean, they're really dependent on the echo. That makes a lot of sense. Well, Shelldock requires us to have 20 or less cards in our library. So we might just get Narset echoed out of this game here very quickly. Please, no echo. All right. All right. Well, this Shelldock is looking real bad after that echo. We are probably, yeah, we're probably just gonna lose this. Yeah, no. I mean, there's not much like, I don't feel too bad about our keep or what happened there. We had literally a perfect hand minus a force of will. He mulled to pretty much his perfect hand, and it worked out. Hopefully he doesn't find an echo here, and we'll be okay. And we'll have some time. Like, we do have some action still. It's going to be a little bit tough to win here, but we do have the Abrupt Decay for Narset, so that helps. Oh, look at this sideboard tech for Doomsday, guys. That's pretty cool. That's a really, really good one to put in there. There we go. And I'm actually gonna hold up Flusterstorm. Not that it's likely to do much here, but so depending on what happens here, our plan is to take that Misty off the top, Dark Ritual, Doomsday, then pop the Narset. It's a little ambitious given where we're at, I'm not gonna lie. Like, this is probably not gonna fly. Okay. Maybe it will. The Chandra I was not expecting. Is this gonna... Why did he do that in pass instead of do 2 damage to me? Alright. Well, we're going for something here. Yeah, I mean, that was pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. Alright. So how do we win next turn easily? So we're gonna pop the Narset. And I think we just Ideas Unbound next turn with Flusterstorm up. I don't think there's any other way to do it. So we'll draw into this. Although, yeah, we can't do anything else. And we'll have 5. We have enough that Echo doesn't kill us here. Is there anything we can do otherwise? No. Yeah, I think this is fine. Ideas Unbound gets us Cavern, Lotus Petal, Edge. So we can even Thought Seize, potentially. This is fine. It's a little sketch, because he has a lot that he can do. All right. So next turn we can Thought Seize. Ideas Unbound. Depends on how much mana he leaves up. If he leaves up enough mana that Flusterstorm doesn't matter, we just Thought Seize. I think this Shelldock's actually gonna be real good here. This is probably Burning Wish. Okay, we're getting the storm count up. I like it. All right. So what do I die to here on 2 blue floating? Not a... Whoa. Brain freeze. That's one that I did not expect to see. So let's see here. He can pay 6. So he can't deal with all the copies. Those 3 cards. Okay, so who's running Brain Freeze? My mind is blown right now. So let's see here. 5. It'll be 5, so I can counter 1 copy. Okay, I actually have the play here. This gets real fucking nuts, so I brainstorm. I put 2 Thoughtseizes back. My deck goes up to 6. I don't know that this is gonna work. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can do 3 and 3. He can pay for that. So I can do 4. Mills 3. No, he still can't get there. That sucks. This was a next level. He may not actually pay though. I think he should. All right, we can be done here. Dude, like I thought that was pretty well. Holy shit. All right, so I'm actually thinking maybe we go back to Tin Fins in the face of Brain Freeze. What do you guys think? I would really like the opinions of everyone here. My inclination is that we go Tin Fins with a little extra permission. Because seeing that makes me think, and he's also seen that we're not on the graveyard plan. So we can basically cut this, bring in and I think we can cut Shell Dock because that's going to be too slow. I don't think Daze does much against them. And I think Thoughtseize is exceptionally good where they're at. So my inclination is maybe bin. I don't want to bin any of this, but if I have to do something, maybe a Gristlebrand, because I'm going to use the Thoughtseizes on them. Anybody have any thoughts on this plan before I click submit? Basically, we're banking on him. This is where so somebody was asking on game 3s, this is where we kind of like have to go Galaxy Brain game 3 and think about what we saw and what we expect from them and what makes sense. I don't think we can keep this. I do think we can keep this. So we do have to watch out for surgical. I really want to find permission here. And surgical is really like what we lose to. He kept 8. If I had a ritual, I wouldn't mind playing into the surgical so I can just respond to it. So I think we're gonna go for an echo ride here. No? Sweet. So on our next turn, we can actually just start getting that in the graveyard. And what we're gonna do here, I probably should have kept in the abrupt decays. That was silly of me. Okay, so now we're actually okay with an Emrakul hit here. We can wipe a lot with that. That fucks us. We have lost here. So what we're gonna do yeah, we just lose here. That turn stung. And we lose the 5-0. There's no coming back. Literally none. That stinks. Yeah, I mean, it happens. It just really stinks. Like, I probably could have pulled the trigger a little bit sooner, but I was trying to play around surgical. And I guess that bit me. Granted, I don't know what was in his hand. But I don't think there's... All we could have done is jammed a turn faster. So I think in the end, realistically, what should have taken place is I should have jammed in. I mean, I try not to be results oriented. Like, I don't know if it's correct to jam into a potential surgical there when we know that these lists run 2 to 3 surgicals. Like, that just seems like a way to lose the game decidedly rather than likely. Like, this required him to have Narset plus LED plus Echo. The other one required him to have just surgical. And we ended up on the wrong side of that coin toss. But perhaps that was incorrect. Another Echo? Holy moly. Well, what we'll do is we'll at least ritual in case we can get something in the yard. I doubt we will, but... Yeah, like, I just don't think playing not around surgical was correct. But I think we scoop it up here and we say we take the 4-1. And it happens. But yeah, I agree. Yikes. Like, I'm trying to think of what lines still exist that could get us there. And with this Narset out, they basically don't exist. So I think we pretty much just scoop it up here and we let them have the win. Yeah, I'm going to do that, save us all the time. But, not bad. Not bad. So, somebody's asking about sideboarding plans, but yeah, this is generally the 15 set that comes out. It's the Tendrils, the Children. And basically all the reanimation stuff. And I built the rest of this to be all stuff that's reasonable to keep in a Doomsday list. So you've got the Forces Days, we had to trim a little bit, the Emrakul Shell Dock, 4 Lotus Petal and LED. The LED plays really nicely with Shallow Grave, which is really sweet. And then you've got the Brainstorms, the Careful Study, which is just kind of like an extra cantrip that's just a really bad cantrip when you're in Doomsday, but it's fine otherwise. 4 Ponder, 3 Preordain. I shaved the 4th one for... Why do I keep doing that? I shaved the 4th one to make that a Careful Study. Because I kept having issues with like discarding from my... finding like an Entomb effect, and I just wanted one more in the deck. 3 Thoughtseizes serve the same role as an Entomb effect plus Disruption. And then it kind of plays itself. The Tropical Island here was a second basic island at one point. And I still like having the second basic, but it didn't hurt us too much tonight. But I wanted the Tropical there for these Abrupt Decays. We could probably shave on one of these Street Wraiths, possibly this Flusterstorm, but most of this is pretty locked in stock here. There's not a lot of flex. But I'd be really happy to see if anybody wants to iterate on this list. Like, it's been decidedly solid. So I'm going to close it up here. My wife is texting me asking if... yeah, thanks, man. good night. Yeah, my wife's texting me asking and wants to watch some TV, so I'm gonna go hang out with her. But yeah, 4-1's not a terrible result in the end. So missed the 5-0, but we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. So peace, everyone.